City West remains as it has for years. 60 homes on more than 4,000 acres, some horses and some cattle. A tranquil area that in reality is a battlefield, littered with plans and dreams, victories and defeats. The efforts to prevent this land's development have been monumental. Environmentalists saying it's not time to build here. A city government which until recently has claimed that it's going to cost the city too much and add to urban sprawl. Those issues have kept North City West as it is for 4 years of wanderings through the bureaucratic maze at City Hall. But now, developer Jim Baldwin, whose company owns several hundred acres of this land, is ready to pay whatever it takes to build here. He says the county's housing needs must be met, but he's the first to admit that it isn't going to be cheap and that he's not in this as a philanthropic gesture. One of the rules of development here, the city will not pick up any costs for facilities. It's one of the reasons that Baldwin says that despite attempts to do so, there just won't be a place for low-income housing.
To get into low-income housing in new development, it can't possibly be done without a subsidy, and the city has to play a major role in it. And we're willing to work with the city to accommodate that in.
What about the cost of each house that you will have to pay to the city?
Probably around $5,000 a house will go to various fees for public facilities in that range. By the way, we're trying to build at least half of the houses, not in low income, but in affordable housing that's, in the $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 price range.
Some at City Hall say those estimates are too low. The first phase of development is being called Carmel Valley. It will be directly south of Torrey Pines High School, with a combination of single-family, condominium, cluster housing, and apartments. School officials still aren't satisfied that their needs will be met, but developers and the city planners seem to be close to agreement. Major sewer, water, gas, and electric lines have been in for 8 years. Baldwin will do something that few developers ever have had to do. He will pay for libraries, fire stations, street lights, and other kinds of improvements usually dumped on the city. The reality is this: it's either that or no development. One of the major arguments against allowing development here has been that it will destroy any chance for redevelopment of already urbanized areas. Baldwin disagrees.
Oh, I think to the contrary. I think if you look around at most big cities where the urban area is developing and is vital, it also has a lot of suburban areas that are developing. I don't think it's a question. Most of the people that will move into North City West, if there's no North City West, they'll be moving into other parts of the county, farther up the coast, I think.
All of the plans, of course, hinge on the council's vote next month, and things have changed there as well. Now there is a city council more willing to allow big developments like this, who argue that it must be done, that all the housing along Interstate 15 is impractical. And the 150 speculators who own the land in North City West have been lobbying with those people in recent months, their hopes higher than ever before. The whole plan, though, rests on a decision on the growth management plan for the entire city. Right now, North City West is in the plan, and battle lines are reforming among environmentalists and many people in Del Mar. The one vote no one is sure of right now is Mayor Pete Wilson's. He violently objected to North City West a few years ago because of the area's potential multi-million-dollar annual operating costs to the city. He won't talk about whether he's changing his mind. North City West is characterized as both a new Mira Mesa, sudden overdevelopment with lack of services, or as the saving grace for San Diego's housing problems. It is characterized as a place only for the rich, or as merely homes well planned and thoughtfully designed that will help keep housing prices from escalating. At this point, even the people who hate the idea of developing North City West the most acknowledge that someday something will be built here. And, as it's been all along, it's just a matter of time and timing. The hitch is determining whose watch to go by. Cathy Clark, News 8.